Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here, and I've just been to see Blue Sky Studios' newest animated feature, Ferdinand. This is a movie about a bull called Ferdinand, a very peaceful and calm bull who just likes to smell flowers. He feels very quaint and happy living in the countryside with humans, but then suddenly he is sent all the way back to his childhood ranch, where he is forced to impress a matador for an upcoming bullfight, or he'll be sent off to the steakhouse. He's got some competition from the other bulls, but luckily he's getting some coaching from a very eccentric goat. Now, I'm not really much of a Blue Sky Studios fan, to be honest. I think that most of their movies range from being passable and okay to just downright terrible. Only the first Ice Age movie and the Peanuts movie actually impress me. There's nothing ambitious or interesting about the stories and characters that their films offer, and to compensate for this, they usually try to distract us with pretty animation and famous celebrities in their voice casts. Ferdinand is kind of an up and down experience, because on the one hand, it can be incredibly profound and dramatic, but then on the other hand, it can be stupid and infantile. I mean, this is a film that isn't afraid to shy away from how cruel and barbaric bullfighting can be. I do appreciate that it doesn't try to over-romanticize animal abuse like Space Chimps did. But I feel as if that the dark side of bullfighting is very downplayed in the film. It's kind of a background thing. It's rarely touched upon because most of the movie just wants to be another silly, hyperactive talking animal comedy. And that gives the impression that the filmmakers are too terrified to embrace the mature, complex and dark tone that comes with going towards a very realistic approach to the subject of bullfighting. If you want to make a silly, goofy, talking animal comedy, all power to you, that's fine, but good luck trying to get your film noticed in the crowd of films in that subgenre. However, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't make a movie this infantile, then ask us to respect you by having little moments of thought-provoking or profound maturity. I can't appreciate the full package when a majority of the film is not willing to go all the way and can't control its tone. I mean, this is a film where we watch bulls being sent off to the slaughterhouse, but then we have the bulls having a dance-off with some silly German horses. It's kind of like watching The Plague Dogs, a movie that explores the horrors of animal experimentation, but instead, halfway through the film, the dogs start breakdancing. Do you see the problem here? Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with having a bit of humour to help us calm down from a very somber or heartbreaking moment, but don't try this hard to sugarcoat it. It shares the same problem as another Blue Sky Studios film called Rio, a film that I did like. It's supposed to be about the exploitation of birds in Brazil, but it tends to sugarcoat that topic by focusing more on talking silly animals, performing slapstick and dancing together. So I can't fully appreciate it as a dark, mature film because it's such a downplayed aspect of the movie, and Ferdinand has the same issue. The narrative of this film is a complete mess. It has no idea where it's going. It doesn't know which plot line to follow, it doesn't know what scene to stick with. It's just a series of nonsensical events, one after the other. The movie just jumps and bounces around in terms of tone, mood and pacing. It's completely clueless. This movie is also painfully generic. It doesn't have a single original bone in its body at all. For example, it reminds me heavily of Hercules, the Disney film, because it's about a character who's really strong but can't control his strength, he's put in a position where he has to prove himself, and he's coached by a mentor. It also closely resembles Chicken Run, especially later on in the film, because it's about these bulls trying to escape a ranch in an attempt to avoid the slaughterhouse, and we even have a scene where some characters have to escape a slaughtering machine, just like Chicken Run. This is also a movie about a community of silly talking animals living together, just like Barnyard and Home on the Range is just so generic and vanilla. I'm not impressed. Now, this movie would be at least watchable if it didn't have one of the most, the most annoying animated character that I saw at the cinema this year. And that's saying a lot because I went to see the Emoji Movie. The goat that trains Ferdinand is awful. She's so obnoxious. She's constantly trying to be funny, constantly making annoying noises. I just couldn't stand her. It came to points where I thought, you know what, I want to leave the cinema right now. And I've rarely ever wanted to leave the theatre. But this is a character that made me come so close to just wanting to walk out because I didn't think I could put up with her any longer. Every scene she's in is just painful and I just wanted to skip ahead and hope that maybe she would be sent to the slaughterhouse. And that's saying something because I'm a vegetarian. But luckily there is a character in the film that carries it. The title character of Ferdinand. He is so lovely. There's something incredibly adorable about how naive he is. There's nothing obnoxious about his innocence. He's just a cool, calm, relaxed and peaceful character who just wants to live his life. And he's always looking out for others. Even if we think that that person is bad or annoying, he still wants to be there for them. And there's just something incredibly moving about that. But at the same time, he is willing to defend himself despite having a pacifist lifestyle. If pushed too far, he will look after himself and he will put up a fight. And I will give the movie this. John Cena is actually really good in the role of Ferdinand. He manages to reflect the strength of his character, but also the softness and sincerity. I was expecting a very wooden and dull performance, because that's the kind of effort you expect from a lot of wrestlers turned actors, but he managed to surprise me, and I do hope that Cena gets more voice work after this project. To conclude, Ferdinand is not exactly a good movie. It's kind of all over the place. It does have some heart, it can get profound, but as a whole package, it's mainly incredibly annoying, obnoxious and infantile. It wants to be respected as a drama with an authentic, important message, but isn't willing to go the extra mile to earn that respect from us. And here's the frustrating thing about this movie. There is a final scene in this film, I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say that it's beautifully handled, intelligently put together, and expressed entirely through animated visuals. I thought this movie's climax was going to go in a very preachy direction, but it actually managed to be subtle. I can't exactly call this movie a perfect masterpiece that will stand the test of time just because it has one little gem of a moment, especially when that scene is buried underneath so much generic storytelling and obnoxious pandering. It's like baking a cake using some of the worst ingredients possible, but then having a really tasty center. People aren't gonna go, wow, that's a delicious cake. No! They're gonna say that's a shit cake, but at least the center was nice. Blue Sky, you just need to stop dipping your toe in the deep end of the pool. Jump in, dive in! Blue Sky Studios, if you want to be respected on the same level as Pixar, then you need to stop playing it so safe and take chances. You have the animation skills, and you have demonstrated that you are capable of pulling off mature, solid drama. But you keep clinging onto your mother's hand, relying on comforts and cliches to feel safe. And we can see right through it. We can tell that you're not confident. And until you bravely let go of that hand, Blue Sky, we're always going to see you as a babysitter fodder production factory. I've been Jambareeqi and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, then feel free to subscribe to my channel because I make a lot of videos quite like this one. Also, consider supporting me on my Patreon by making monthly pledges in return for awesome rewards. Thank you. Cheerio, folks.